Hello and welcome to the White Rabbit YouTube channel. In today's episode, we're reviewing the previous episode, UFOs and nuclear. I always do this. UFOs and nuclear sites, a watchful eye on our technology. It was a good time for this episode to come out as the congressional hearings on UFOs was around the same time, so people's interest in UFOs had peaked. So I was able to get a lot of views on this episode, and it just so happens to be the most popular video for the first 7 days. So thank you to everyone. I got a comment from Recycled Interfollow Paper. Hello, good night. And hello, good night to you too. Thank you. All right. So since the interest in UFOs is very high at the moment, my next episode is also about UFOs, which I'll talk about a little later. I'll start off as I usually do with the comments. I got a comment from Francis Le Cuisteau. They are among us. Great video. Thank you, Francis Le Cuisteau. Vinny S2J. I like how you showed the Black Knight satellite without mentioning it. I probably said something along the lines that they're watching us and have been for a long time, and the Black Knight satellite has been there for a very, very long time. But I try not to go into this space stuff so much. It always comes up, but I want to stay on the terrestrial level, at least for a while. All kinds of stuff like the Dark Knight satellite, the hollow moon. Is it a spaceship? There's a time when the Zulu tribe can remember the moon not being there. All kinds of fun stuff like that. But that's not for soon. A few more comments. Key faithlessness. Yes, clearly watching over our use of nuclear material in any capacity. And then somebody called Kaleidoscope This. I did a little digging on this, and they're generally only seen around power plants during meltdown. Also around nuclear weapons storage sites. There's some kind of connection. I assume it's based on the radiation given off. So that kind of goes with exactly what I talked about. And another comment from Key Faithlessness. And this one's pretty interesting. I interviewed a guy who was on the USS Clamagore Navy submarine, which carried nuclear torpedoes. And he shared an amazing USO encounter, which lasted over 15 minutes, where this object followed their sub. There is a connection here. And then again, she commented later. I honestly think it has happened hundreds, if not thousands of times or more. The vast majority of cases are covered up. What we see is just the tip of the iceberg, just like every conspiracy. And then someone called Spooks Corrupt. It's so scary. Obviously, we need to increase the DoD CIA Space Force budget. And the last one is pretty funny, from a guy called B.O. Bleak times when we rely on alleged aliens to keep us from nuking ourselves because we, the people, somehow just can't resist the urge. Which leads to the prison planet theory, which is the episode I'm filming right now. Just about to start filming. I just finished the script today. But basically, it's about how humans are trapped on the Earth, which is a prison planet of reincarnation cycles, which are controlled by fourth, fifth, and sixth level dimensional beings, which encourage us to go to the light and start a new life and start with a wiped out memory, etc. So yeah, that's going to be good. Comments I got here. Someone asked me why I didn't include the Fukushima UFO footage in this video, and it was supposed to be there, but there was a miscommunication. And anyway, it's not there, but it is in the next episode, which is also about UFOs. It's Well, actually, the title I'm not sure of yet. I have two ideas. The first one is Ancient UFOs and Modern Footage, because I'm telling stories that begin 2,240 years ago in ancient Rome, with UFO stuff up until 400 years ago. So it's ancient UFOs, but of course, all the footage is modern, and I included the newest stuff and the most amazing, big, huge, bright, shiny lights. And some people, oh my God, they shine like green military laser pens at the UFOs, and sometimes they shine the light back or they move around, they try to avoid it. That Anyway, there's one in Peru where they show this big, huge, giant X multiple times after the green laser light was flashed upon it. So I included all that in the video, and I have a friend that's going to translate the Spanish. So I'll have the English, Spanish, and Chinese subtitles for a few scenes, including my all-time favorite UFO scene, which you've probably already seen twice. But it's the one where the UFO just flies, and then there's a jet that flies above, right past it, because it stopped, and it drops something in the water, something small, and then the whole thing drops. And then, but this time it's got a little bit more info, because it pans over to like the cabin, and there's a helicopter coming telling them to leave the area, and it's all in Spanish, but I'm going to get it translated, so the subtitles and whatever they say will appear on the screen. It's very exciting. um let's see. So, oh yeah, the two titles. One is Ancient UFOs and Modern Footage, and that's what I'm thinking for one of them, or Ancient UFOs to Modern Sightings, a 2,000-year journey. Uh, mm, yeah, if I type it, it will take too long. So, short one or long one in the comments if you want to give your thought on that. And then, yes, upcoming episodes. So we have the ancient UFO and the prison planet that I mentioned. I also have the full moon episode, which is parts 1, 2, and 3 all together. I'm gonna hold on to that for a while in case I need it, uh, so I don't feel pressure on making episodes so fast. If I have a backup, I can just use it later, or at the very worst, just post it before I go to Palau. So, and the Taiwan pyramid is always in the works, but this time I think it's going to be a month or less, maybe. Don't hold your breath, but it's looking that way. So, yeah, looking good. I also have a plan to make an episode about how Taiwan relates to the continent of Mu, like a full episode just on that, including the Ketikalan people, which are supposedly the first Aboriginals of Taiwan, but maybe they were not Aboriginal at all. Maybe they were the Nakals of Mu. And there are stories of them already being there when the other Aboriginal tribes arrived in Taiwan, and they welcomed them and helped them and taught them and stuff, as well as the short black beings that are also found in the mountains of Taiwan that I mentioned in the continent of Mu, part 2, I'm pretty sure, just after Hawaii. Yeah, that must have been part 2. And then someone asked about lucid dreaming. So lucid dreaming is kind of like a conspiracy, but so I'll talk about it. So I have achieved lucid dreaming in a long time ago, because I used to write down all my dreams, because I had intentions of using them for short stories or something like that. And I never did do anything with them, but I still have a lot of, little folded up papers I would just keep next to my bed, or a notebook, and I would wake up and I would write down everything I could remember, even if it was just like a few keywords. And then that made me remember my dreams more and more and more. And then I was already doing that for a long time when I learned about lucid dreaming. And then, so basically, what I did was, so first of all, my dreams are 99% of the time in the forest or a survival situation. So I'm not really in the city or in rooms. But some people's suggestion for those people having inside dreams is to turn on and off the light. And when you turn off the light, you just say, "Am I dreaming?" And you actually really think about it and you say, "No, I'm not dreaming." So that it becomes like repetitive. And when you do dream and say that and you turn off the light and say, "Am I dreaming?" And like, "Oh, I actually am dreaming." And then you can do whatever you want, kind of. But it takes a long time to train that way. For me, I couldn't do that because I'm never indoors in my dreams. So what I did is I would jump as high as I could, which was kind of weird if you'd see me out and about just randomly jumping sometimes. But I would be like, all right, if I'm dreaming, I can jump as high as I want and start flying. But if I'm in real life, I just jump. So I say, "Am I dreaming?" And I just try to jump. And if I can, then I'm dreaming and continue flying and go somewhere and have an adventure. Another one was to like try to push your finger through your hand, and if you're dreaming, obviously it will go through. Uh, Another good indoor one, or if you're good with trees, I guess, is to look at an object. It's a lamp, and then you turn away and you look back, and it's a table, because in dreams, the things are always shifting. And so, yeah, if you write down your dreams all the time and ask yourself if you're actually dreaming while doing some random thing that you can remember to do even in your dream, then you can lucid dream. The problem is the first or few times that you actually manage to lucid dream, you will most likely just wake up. There's also a way to astral travel through your dream, but that is a very different story that I'm not going to go into right now. But if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I could tackle that in a future episode. So I guess that's all for today. Short and sweet. Uh, Nuclear powered interest. Oh, here's one. A human being. So another question: in parts of an exploration in the Grand Canyon, they found carved baby footprints, 6 toes. Anything? Well, all the ancient giants and beings of ancient times have 6 fingers and 6 toes. And in my Continent of Mu episode, I gave many, many examples of petroglyphs and statues with 6 fingers and 6 toes. The Grand Canyon, I do plan on making an episode about all the crazy stuff they found there. Some people say the ancient Chinese went there. Let's see, the Grand Canyon's right here. So we've got the ancient Chinese, we've got portal, we've got tunnel to the inner earth. It's near Area 51 ish. And the Kincaid found tunnels with Egyptian hieroglyphs on the walls, and some people found gold or proof of aliens and tunnels to the inner earth. And then apparently it was like a huge gold bearing area, and it was interfering with the price of gold, making it go way down because there's too much of it. And so the US government made it a national reserve, like a natural reserve, to like make it off limits for people to go there. And then I think it was Johnny Carlson, that he like got a helicopter and went out there and tried to just go somewhere, and he was stopped by people of authority. But yeah, I'm not too sure on exactly who or when it was. But yes, there are many mysteries in the Grand Canyon, including how all the tops of all the mountains are all named after Egyptian gods. Uh, some people say there are melted buildings or like pyramids and like something that resembles the Sphinx. Do I have it here? Oh, I do. Let me grab it off the wall. Uh, Sorry, I grabbed a couple here. So let's see. So here is This is Vishnu Temple, located in the Grand Canyon, Arizona, and they say that it used to be like the pyramid and the Sphinx, like that. But that's just another theory, and I don't have any other on the wall of that. But yes, so thank you for your question. I hope that answers your question. If you haven't seen the continent of Mu, uh, giants with 6 fingers and 6 toes, basically a lot of the tikis of like the Marquesa Islands and French Polynesia, as well as like there's a statue in Ukraine with 6 fingers and petroglyphs, and pretty sure it's like episode 3, but I'm not quite sure. They're all blended together as they should have been in the first place. Haha. All right. So if there's no more questions, I hope that answers your question, human being. Oh, good. Another one. All right. Yes, good episode. I seen it. I was worried. No, sorry, I'll start that over. Yes, a good episode. I've seen it. I was wondering about the traveling from Mu. Thanks for answering. Those prints were regular size. Ah, yeah, prints in the ground. Yeah, no, baby footprints with 6 toes. I don't think I've seen that, but I can look into it. Thank you for your comment. And as always, uncovering the truth, one conspiracy at a time. See you next week on the White Rabbit YouTube channel.